Throughout the years of the Pokemon trading card game, there have been numerous formats. There are the obvious ones like the ever-rotating standard format, the fun but broken expanded format, and even some other stuff like cubing and drafting. However, there's one single format, in my opinion, that stands above all the rest. Gym Leader Challenge. It's a simple to understand and easy to get into format created by Andrew Mahone, also known as Tricky Jim here on YouTube. It's a format where each deck only has one type of Pokemon, one of each card not including basic energy, and no rule boxes. I've honestly had such a great time playing this format, and it's really reignited my interest in the Pokemon TCG. Today, I want to talk a bit about why I personally think this is the single best format for the Pokemon TCG, and some of the ways in which the Pokémon Company can help to support this format officially. Before we get into that though, if you enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and I'd love to keep making content related to the Pokemon TCG and other topics in the future. I've also got a booster box of Scarlet and Violet on its way, so if you'd like to see that get opened, subscribe so you don't miss it. Anyway, on with the video. So, why is GLC so amazing? Well, let's take a look at the two most popular and most common formats for a comparison. First up is Standard. Standard is an ever-changing format that rotates out older cards and brings in newer cards. If you only care about Standard, you'll pretty much be storing old cards and buying singles and new cards each rotation. And you'll be stuck playing with and against the same 3 to 4 decks. If something stupid and overpowered takes over Standard like ADP or Lugia V-Star, you're just kinda stuck to either deal with it or join in as a part of the problem yourself. As for the other format, Expanded, that one's a bit more unique. Expanded encompasses every card from the black and white set onwards, save for a relatively small ban list. Expanded allows for some crazy combos to be pulled off, like running Lugia V-Star with stuff like double colorless energy, playing old EX and GX cards with VMAX and V-Star cards, reliving older decks like Keldeo Blastoise, and all around just having a great time with over a decade's worth of cards. However, this format has a few problems, to say the least. Nothing here is balanced. We have cards that were never meant to exist with each other now being played in tandem, and it can create some pretty broken combinations. The format also just kinda gets overrun with whatever's the most busted at the time, not too dissimilar to Standard. Both of these formats are all basically dominated by huge rulebox Pokemon with massive 250 plus HP, insane abilities, and insane attacks. Gym Leader Challenge, on the other hand, takes pretty much all the fun aspects of Expanded with none of the drawbacks. Cards that would never otherwise see the light of day outside of a storage box are now seeing regular play again, or even for the first time ever. Cards from 10 years ago are just as viable as ones printed today. Pair all of that with the limitations of GLC, and you have a really unique format that breeds creativity. You'll pretty much never play against the same exact deck twice, and there's so much to choose from. Yes, there are a lot of staple cards, but with an insane amount of trainers, even playing against multiple decks of the same type can be pretty different. One match you could be up against a super aggro deck, while the next is against a mill deck. Pretty much every deck is viable in this format, and that's just an amazing thing to see. However, there's only so much a fan-created and supported format can do. And that's where the Pokemon Company comes in. From what I've heard, the Pokémon Company International seems at least somewhat interested in Gym Leader Challenge, and it's even officially recognized as an alternative way to play the game. I think that one of the best things that could ever happen to this format would be for it to be officially supported in some capacity. I'm going to go over both what I do and don't want to see from the Pokémon Company in regards to this format. First off, I don't want official tournaments for this format. Well, that's not entirely true. I think official events focused on Gym Leader Challenge would be amazing, getting to see all these creative decks played at a higher level, but therein lies the problem. By having this be an official tournament format, it would start to create a meta, and I believe a rather toxic one at that. We'd have the elitism of, oh, well, I think this card is bad, so you shouldn't play it and your deck is trash now. GLC is all about experimenting with these cards and making fun and interesting combinations work. By having a sort of meta be established, it discourages the creativity and makes people feel like they have to play a specific deck in order to do well. I don't want that to be how this format ends up, and I think if it did, it would die off pretty quickly. However, it's not all bad. I think by having it be an occasional event in a more casual setting, it could work. I don't really want it to be something as huge and high stakes as Worlds, but also not something as small as an event night at a local game store. Maybe a quarterly or yearly tournament for GLC could work, or maybe even just having it at certain events like regionals could work. I'm not too sure about this though, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. As for what I think the Pokémon Company could do to best support the format, I actually think they should have released products for Gym Leader Challenge. That not only helps newer players get their hands on some of these older cards, but even lets older players get their hands on some of these cards. Heck, I think they could just make this its own set. Actually, that sounds like a good idea for a video. Subscribe so you don't miss that in the future. As a little taste of what I'm thinking of though, imagine something akin to a mini set like Pokemon Go, Pokemon Celebrations, or going back even further, Double Crisis. It would pretty much entirely be a reprint set, but I can see several opportunities for many different products to be made. Again, look forward to a video on that in the future. Having products that allow players both new and old to get their hands on these older cards would just make this format a lot more accessible, especially as prices for old staple cards go up. I'm looking at you, Colress. These products would be their own separate thing to where standard players and collectors don't need to worry about them, but Gym Leader Challenge players can benefit more from buying them than they would other products like League Battle Decks and the like. Really though, just seeing this format get officially supported by Pokemon in some way would really make me happy. At a recent pre-release at my local game store, I was pleasantly surprised to hear that most people there had heard of or even actively played Gym Leader Challenge. I feel like this format has a much wider audience than people realize, and with official support, it would only continue to grow. If anyone from the Pokémon Company International just happens to be watching this video by some miracle of fate, please consider supporting Gym Leader Challenge in some capacity. And again, stick around for my future video on this matter. I will literally give you product ideas for free. I just really want this to be a bigger format. I mean, if they wanted to make a step in the right direction, even just adding it as an official way to play on the Pokemon trading card game Alive would make it so much easier to play matches with people. I think that'd be a welcome change that not many people would disagree with. But anyway, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Again, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I have another video covering GLC hopefully coming soon, as well as a Scarlet and Violet opening coming in the near future, so subscribe to not miss those. Your support is greatly appreciated, and it means the world to me. But anyway, that's all for now. I'll see you all next time.